Woo! It's your boy Tissy Japan back with another episode of ATAS across time and space. Today we're doing something a little special. It's been a whole month since our last update. So it's kind of dry out there. I just want to let you guys know that a lot of things have been going on. Got a smile on my face, but that's a blessing too, because I had to say goodbye to a very special person to me. Probably maybe the closest person to me, at least, for the first 30 something years of my life. So what I'm going to, that person was my mother. And, she passed on July 24th, which is just before or just after our last episode. So today it's a solo mission. But it doesn't have to be a solo mission. If you'd like to join us in the comment section down below, just to say, hey, what's going on? Or, hey, I recognize that person from the picture. This is it's an event. It's a tribute. And so I just want to kind of take some time, a moment of silence to look back and reflect on the life of Pamela Allen, who was a very special woman for a lot of people. We memorialized her, or funeralized her, on August 13th, which is just 2 weeks ago. I was there in the States, and I'll talk a bit about that whole process and how it works, because it could be beneficial for some of our listeners, maybe here in Japan, if you've lost a loved one and you have to travel back home in order to do that. Maybe you can relate to the situation. If you lost a loved one here and trying to, basically tell people about what that person meant to you, and say, farewell in a sense, or see you next time. It's for those who are of the faith that there's an afterlife and that we're going to meet up on the other side. Then it's not so bad. It's not that you're just saying goodbye and that's it, but it's goodbye for now in terms of this life. So yeah, that's what I like to do. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time there, funeralizing her after, not funeralizing, but memorializing her life after showing this brief 5-minute clip. So it's just a moment of silence for a wonderful woman. And then I'll go back into the video a bit and talk about some of the things that I recognize there, and just speak to her life a little bit. Okay, so I know it's a little bit different, but get yourself some popcorn or get a seat, and let's enjoy this tribute. Thank you.
Every day, with your whole heart desire, lift the Maya, holy, 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 yeah. Holy Moon Zion, would you let's sing. Presence of my foes, my head go half a note shall surely fall. And ninja hosts forevermore, my dwelling place shall be. Goodness and mercy all my life shall surely follow me, and in Jehovah's forevermore my dwelling place must be. My soul don't have to restore again, and need to walk those days within the path of righteousness, even for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the gate, will I fear no ill. Thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they surely comfort me. My table, though have furnished, in the presence of my foes. My head, though have anointed with oil, my cup it It's so good. Praise the Most High God every day with your whole heart desire. Lift him high, lift him high. Holy, 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 holy. Yeah. Holy Mount Zion, good job. Let's sing. from port steel. My table has furnished in the presence of my foes. My head don't have anoint with oil, my cup it overflow. Goodness and mercy all my life shall surely follow me. And in just house forevermore, my dwelling place must be. Goodness and mercy all my life shall surely follow me. And in your house forevermore, my dwelling place shall be. Goodness and mercy all my life shall surely follow me, and in your house forevermore, my dwelling place must be. My soul don't have to restore again, and need to walk those days within the path of righteousness, even for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the gate, will I fear no evil. Thou art with me, thy right.
All right, so I think we can park it right there. Something more like that. Yeah. So that's a lot, and it's a very emotional thing to watch every time. But it's one of the few things that I could give as a tribute to her. I put this together along with my cousin, and it came from a place of love. Came from a place of appreciation. And at the end of the day, I really appreciate what she did in a lot of people's lives. You could see across the board that Mom Dukes was everywhere, and she meant a lot to a lot of folks. She spent some time in the military, but before that, older sister of over 10 siblings. Even a big sister to her big brothers. She was no joke. She got it done. She got it done on the bowling lane. So sometimes you'll see pictures of me out there or videos of me out there trying to work that space, that lane. And that's because she blessed me with that. She blessed me with the gift, as it were. She loved to drive. So I think there was a photo in there somewhere with the Camaro. And folks before me talk about how nice that Camaro was, just riding around with her. But she had a Camaro. I know her for having the Dodge. Or was that a Plymouth Voyager? Yeah, they're like the same thing, I know her for having a Subaru. And that was the last car. She was known for having pictures. She's known for having pictures. So when you see these, this isn't even scratching the surface. She was the historian in the fam. And, I'd like to carry some of that on. But at the same time, I know this is YouTube. This isn't necessarily the best place to share everything. And it won't be shared indefinitely. I'll probably turn this private after the first live streaming. So don't worry too much. Oh, that's a picture of me when I was digging out no. Okay, it's fine. It's not that everybody's going to see it, but for this moment, if you're with me live, and thank you for those who are, if you're with me live, then um, this is a lot. It was a lot, and it's really a lot to take in. 2 weeks after, um, 1 month after that last day, um, where am I right now? Like psychologically, emotionally, it's a new place. It's definitely a new place. It's important to check in though. If you don't check in and just say, hey, this is how I'm actually feeling about things, and sometimes you lash out at folks that you really shouldn't. Um, or you'll end up doing things that you really shouldn't, or you end up drinking something that you really shouldn't, or yeah. Speaking from experience, it's best to check in with those who love you, and it's really hard when you lose a parent, because that's one that is in your corner, and it's just a lot to process. I kid you not. There's really no way to prepare for that, especially the closer that you get towards that person, or the closer that you are with that person, the more it's going to be felt when they're gone. As a result, though, with knowing that, if you just live through my experience and you say, hey, well, Tipsy Japan, like he's getting hit pretty hard because, he lost his mom and he was really close to her. So maybe I'm not going to be close. No, don't do that. Use the time and the space that you have right now to make new memories with those loved ones, those people that you have in your corner. For me, that was kind of the new life that was bred into YouTube and into social media. Like I had stepped away from it for a while. I was kind of jaded, just deleted so many people that, it didn't really seem like they were that close to me anyway. But then, something happened where, my cousin, he lost his mom, and he said to me, hey, TPC, look, you need to talk to your mother. When was the last time you talked to your mother? I don't know, man. Like last week or something? You don't know. I talk to my mother every day. Talk to your mother. That was it. That was the beginning of this slight difference. I want to say 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago, that kind of turned the tide in our relationship. Because, as a guy, like, you go away to college and, you're not really like close to your parents like that. You don't want to be too close. You don't want to be a mama's boy, all these things that people say. Who cares what they say? Well, it kind of sucks. Like if you called like a mama's boy or something. Not that I was, but I didn't want to be like, oh, well, always talking to my mom. Always talking to my mom. No, well, you know what? It's important. Talk to your parents. Maybe they don't know how to reach out to you. Maybe you don't know how to reach out to them, but you're hearing my voice right now. So like, how to listen. All right. So just call them up and listen. That could be enough. You haven't heard their voice recently? Man, it's going to come a day when you're going to miss that voice. I'll tell you right now. You're going to miss that voice. So capture it. Use some of this social media. Use some of these smartphones we got floating around everywhere, Capture those special moments and make new ones and savor that. Yeah. I'm not going to finish it right there. Looks like mic drop or anything. I can't even drop my mic. But when I say savor those moments, I mean that, for example, after my cousin went and told me that I really should talk to my mother, I said, okay, let me give her a call. But what are we going to talk about? It doesn't matter what you talk about. But for me, like I kind of need a premise. You don't necessarily have to, not everybody needs a premise, right? But I needed one. I needed something, some kind of excuse. I felt like I needed an excuse. So what I started doing was this workout routine called Radio Taiso. And I started doing that with her. When I went home, I showed her some moves, I think in 2013. Showed my aunt some moves and like, yes, this is what we should do to like stay in shape and kind of turn things around. And then we got into it like during the pandemic. It was like every morning, 6:30, boom. What are you up to? Radio Tyson, you know. All right, let's turn it on. And just turn on the little video thing and work out together, do calisthenics together. And it was a 10-minute thing, but it became like that was the first thing we were doing, some kind of active thing. And for guys, and I'm not saying every guy in the world, you know, but I think some of the masculine energy is surrounded around doing things and producing things. So producing that time and turning that time into something productive just came very natural to me. And then after that, let's talk about whatever, you know, if you got time. If you don't, hey, I'll talk to you again tomorrow, because Radio Tyso is every day. So that's what we did. And then, but there were times that, I don't know, she'd be at the hospital. She'd be out at the supermarket. She'd be having dinner or whatever. So, you know, unfortunately, we weren't able to do it at that time. So my co-host, you know, he said to me, hey, you know, why don't you put it out there on like a different social media platform? And we'll talk about that next time. I'm sure he'll, you know, watch this episode. And so why don't I put it out there on a different platform? So I think at first I started putting it out on YouTube. No, was it YouTube or Facebook? I think I went Facebook first, and then YouTube, and then start calling my mom back, you know. But it's like when I couldn't work out with her, then I just make a live video of working out, and then tell her, hey, ma, you know, watch it. You know, you can watch the daily grind, and that's what you see. Like some of the older TPC Japan videos where it was just doing the daily grind. Yeah, that's there because I wanted a recording that my mother could watch and do later. That was one of the reasons. Another was that so I could have a recording for myself, you know, in posterity. I look back and say, what happened? What did you do? Wow, you were really in shape in your 30s. You know, this is not easy to maintain, as easy as I make it look, right? But yeah, so that's how I kind of got started. And it was because I wanted to be able to connect with her, or you know, and so now I'm in this habit of producing things on YouTube, producing things on Instagram, and a little bit of the TikTok. The reason why TikTok and Instagram didn't really take off for me is because she couldn't follow it properly. There's always the password. I forgot what my password is. You know, this password thing is a serious problem that needs to get cleared up right now. Like I don't care if you guys. For me, like I read it down in a little book. I got all my passwords there, and it's just that's it. Sometimes you need something to hold on to the stuff, right? Other folks, like they'll have a password manager. I think Google Chrome can do that now too. Hey, you know, do what you got to do. But she was not able to manage her passwords properly, and as a result, we never really took off on TikTok together. Or, you know, after she lost her Facebook or something, trying to get back on, it's like, I don't know what my password is. Parents. But you say that now, but password management is tough for me. I know it may be tough for you. I don't have a great recommendation for it except for writing it down. Get yourself a pen and a pad and do what it do. So in any case, we're out here on social media now. As you know, me and my host just finished up Homo Deus. So just giving a channel update. Again, the next episode is going to be, well, the next book is going to be about Reggie Fils-Aimé, the former CEO of Nintendo of America. And he's also Haitian, so Black CEO of my favorite video game company. Yeah, maybe our favorite. I don't know. I won't speak for Ace of Cross Culture, but I'm pretty sure that you know, he's not a fanboy, but a fan of the work that Fils-Aimé did, and you know, he's the son or the descendant of immigrants, as Ace and myself are, you know, and we find ourselves in different living quarters or different living environment than we grew up in. So there's still a little bit of that want to go somewhere and do something different, and set up camp and make a difference. You know what? That reminds me of something my mother didn't realize, I guess, posthumously, that she would leave me with. It's from Chicken Soup for the Soul. If you've heard of Chicken Soup for the Soul, it's a series developed by a US based company, publishing house. But yeah, it's this little crossword puzzle. Not crossword, word search. That's it. Word search. Shameless plug. But it reminds me of this. And my situation, her contribution, and also what Reggie and Ace and TPC are trying to do. This is Joseph Addison, and he said, "If I can any way contribute to the diversion or improvement of the country in which I live, I shall leave it when I am summoned out of it with the secret satisfaction of thinking that I have not lived in vain." One more time. If I can any way contribute to the diversion or improvement of the country in which I live, I shall leave it when I'm summoned out of it with the secret satisfaction of thinking that I have not lived in vain. もし私がいる国にはいい影響、改善できるところがあったとすれば、私はその国を出国する際に、密かに満足の気持ちを抱くでしょう。なぜなら、私は無駄な人生を送ったわけにはならないので。Something like that, right? I think that, I know that my mother could finish her life with that satisfaction. Yes, she was able to leave a positive influence, not just on her country as a service member, but on her family and on her community. And her children, myself, the only one, was able to leave a positive influence on the country in which he lived too. So by extension, by her doing the right thing and loving down on me, I'm able to share that love with you guys. And yeah, she always told me that she was proud. So I'm happy with that. I'm happy that she didn't leave the life thinking, well, I wish I had done this. I wish I had done that. I have a lot of her journals, like a whole stack of them. And I didn't realize she wrote as much as she did. But, just going through her, not memoirs, but her biography a bit of how, thank you, WPO. Yeah. Just going over her memoirs and what she wrote down about her life and what she was, how she was connecting with the higher power. Hopefully it'll be a guide for me someday, even if it isn't yet. Going through the journal writings that she had of my uncles and whatnot, their journal writings. Wow, these guys really wrote it down and they told their own story. So my hope through this podcast, and this is just going out into the future, across time and space, is that when folks look back at my life and they say, well, what did he say about what he did? That's important. I pray that the message is clear, that, life's been good, blessed. And to the extent that I've been blessed, I'd like to bless you guys right back. So we're going to do big things going forward. Stay tuned and enjoy. It's your boy TPC Japan, telling you that that's what it is. Peace.